This is the Automotive Repair Podcast Network.
Welcome, everyone, to yet another episode of Diagnosing the Aftermarket A to Z. I'm Matt Fanslow, and we are the diamonds that choose to stay cool. That and more after a word from our sponsors, NAPA Autotech Training and Pico Technology. For 98 years, the NAPA name has meant quality parts and service. It also reflects top quality training programs to help you build a more successful vehicle repair business. No doubt, the technician shortage is impacting everyone, but you're not facing this battle alone. NAPA has the solution by making NAPA Autotech training available near you. NAPA Autotech provides automotive aftermarket technicians career development opportunities through structured, disciplined, measured, and high-quality technical instruction, no matter the technician or service advisor's skill level. This instruction enhances understanding of vehicle systems, increases first-time repair capability, and overall customer satisfaction. This instruction enhances understanding of vehicle systems, increases first-time repair capability, and overall customer satisfaction. It also prepares technicians to become ASE certified. It's a fact technicians who receive training to improve their knowledge and skills have a higher sense of job satisfaction. This reduces technician turnover and increases productivity, directly improving a shop's profitability. It is vital to the success of a shop's business that today's technicians are equipped to diagnose and repair today's complex vehicles. With our ever-changing technology, the technician's knowledge and skills need to be updated and refreshed on a regular basis. As you labor over the decision of whether to send your techs to get their skills sharpened, keep in mind, NAPA Autotech training is an investment, not an expense, and it's available to all. Much of NAPA Autotech's training is offered in more than one format to accommodate varieties of learning styles and training preferences so each person can maximize their learning. Whether you're more of a hands-on person or enjoy learning at your own pace, NAPA Autotech is here to provide you with the training you need in the format that works best for you. To learn more about what NAPA Autotech offers, contact napaautotech.com. Okay, that was actually a lyric. It sounded somewhat Christmassy, but it's a song lyric from a band called Parkway Drive. That's kind of the subject I want to talk about of all things. If you're not familiar, Parkway Drive is a metalcore band out of Australia, and their popularity is, I guess, arguably fairly new, but they're not a new band by any means. I think they're formed in the early 2000s, 2002, 03, 04, something like that. The reason I bring them up is they have a story I adore. I adore this story. They're touring with Killswitch Engage. Killswitch Engage is my favorite band, I think, by far. I don't think anyone approaches them in my mind. Since they're a metalcore band, typically metalcore music has heavy guitars and drums, like just metal. But the lyrics, or vocals, I should say, a lot of times, or not a lot of the times, most of the time in metalcore, you have the screaming, guttural Cookie Monster vocals along with clean. And I really, really like that back and forth, that bouncing. Some bands have a dedicated clean vocalist and a dedicated screamer or Cookie Monster vocalist. And then some of them can do both. You know, Slipknot, as they evolved from nu metal and got into arguably more metalcore, the back and forth, clean and screaming, is Corey Taylor. Killswitch Engage started out with Jesse. Then Jesse had to leave, and who I think is the best male vocalist in music, Howard Jones, comes in with them, takes them to their highest of highs, and then parts ways, and they get Jesse back. They do both the screaming and the clean vocals. So Parkway Drive's touring with them, and they're working on their new album. And Adam D of Killswitch Engage, and they call him Adam D because really nobody can pronounce his last name, stops by the recording studio, and they've been working their tails off on these songs where they're trying to do the Cookie Monster, the screaming, which Parkway Drive, for the most part, up to that point, was all screaming. There was no clean vocals. Very, very minimal clean vocals. They're trying to do the back and forth. They're trying to do clean and scream. It's not working. They're listening to the just recording after recording, version after version, and cringing. And Adam's sitting there and he's listening to them, and he looks around their room and he goes, what if you guys are just the metalcore band that doesn't have clean or just screams? They take his advice, re-record all screaming like they've been doing, and eventually they hit, right? They have songs like Glitch and Sacred, many, many more, but I mean, they go on to fame. And to be honest, I don't think they're a bigger band than Killswitch, but during the Summer of Loud tour, they were the headliners, or I guess there's a lot of headliners. They had co-headlining, I guess, but they closed the show. They closed the show for Killswitch Engage. That could have been a choice by the band. They didn't want to go on last. I don't know. It wasn't that late, but that just goes to show you how big they got. And big enough to go on that tour with Killswitch Engage, with Devil Wears Prada, with I Prevail, with, I mean, just Beartooth. They get to close the show. And they thank Adam D for helping them realize that they weren't ready, or they just, for all the effort, all the passion, all the desire, all the hard work, they couldn't do it. They couldn't make it work. It didn't sound right. It didn't sound good. And so I'm listening to this, just smiling, because one, I'm just a big fan of Killswitch Engage and Adam D. I think he's hilarious, as well as extremely thoughtful, knowledgeable. And I really like Parkway Drive. They're probably not in my top 5, but they're probably in my top 10, towards the bottom of that top 10 favorite bands, and I really like their music. And I love that for all the technology, all of the desire, all of the hard work, it didn't work. And so they shift gears. And yeah, they go with what got them there, wildly successful. How many times do we see that? And what we can take something from that, right? I think the most obvious thing is, from a shop perspective, is maybe we're not the shop to do everything. Maybe we're not the shop to work on Euro cars. Maybe we're not the shop to work on domestic cars. Maybe we're not the shop to do heavy diagnostics. Maybe we're not the shop to do undercar. Why would that be such a bad thing? Why wouldn't that be, let's go with what we have. Let's go with the skills we have. Like, I can buy all these tools. I can buy all this equipment. I can buy all this information, but maybe my personnel, and it's not a knock. Like, I'm not running anybody into the ground. If I was in a 2-man shop, you would not want me, nor would I care to, do much for R&R work. I don't like it, and I'm terrible at it. So you go with the talent you have, or I suppose you start changing up your talent. And I don't know about you, but the struggle is real, finding the skill sets we need, even if they're specialized. Just finding really good mechanical specialists. Take it apart, put it back together. I don't need you to diagnose anything. We'll help you figure out what's wrong with it. I just need you to be able to very productively take it apart, put it back together. It's hard to find. And then technical specialists, like, you know what? I don't need you to do engines and transmissions. I don't need you to do the timing chain. I need you to figure it out that it absolutely needs these parts. That's what I need. That's hard to find. What if we looked at that and said, maybe we're just not this shop? Maybe that's just not for us yet. We can always maybe add somebody down the road, or over time and practice and experience, the group I have, the crew I have, evolves, grows into that ability, adds that. I just found that fascinating. I mean, even we could see it in other things with sports, right? I think way back when to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What if we just don't pass the ball very much? We don't have that really stellar quarterback. We don't have this really great receiver corps, but I got 2 running backs, one who can just pound the ball. I think it was Mike Allstott. And then I got a speedy running back. Let's just do that. And they did that all the way to a Super Bowl. And very stingy defense, don't get me wrong. And why not? Or just as an individual, looking at me, like I'm not going to be the R&R guy. It just, I suppose for me, there's not a lot of passion of it in it. So what's a better example? Something that I really do care about. I'm probably never going to be like a mass productive module repair tech. Like I probably am never going to really be able to just have people mail me modules and I will fix them or clone them or whatever it is. It's probably never going to happen. But I have these other things I'm okay at, and I can stay busy with all of it. What's wrong with that? Maybe I have to check my ego a little bit. Maybe it's got to be like, well, okay, I'm probably not going to happen. Or if it is, it's down the road and I have to keep working at it. And maybe that happens. Maybe it doesn't. So yeah, I love that story. It really struck me. And I think it's so true that sometimes we just want to do everything. We want to fit whatever that genre is and be all of the things. And we don't have to be. In some cases, drilling down and focusing on what we're really good at is the better move. Or as I said in a earlier podcast this year, even reverse benchmarking, figuring out what everyone else is not so good at and building my skills or my crew, my team, my business around what everyone else doesn't do very well. And I do that extremely well. I don't know, food for thought. Otherwise, if anything, introduce you to a pretty good band, Parkway Drive. Check them out on your favorite listening app. And speaking of listening apps, that's a really, really terrible segue, ain't it? I don't have no shame. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good app. The Auto Repair Podcast Network app, that I get it. I'm under their umbrella. I get it. I'm friends with Tracy and Carm. Yeah, I can be very unbiased, I think. And on the level, the app's really good. They worked really hard on it. I think it was the better part of 2 years to get it developed. It shows. You can watch video on it. You can just listen to it. You can favorite things. You can share it. It works really well. So you can find that, in the Play Store or the Apple, whatever the hell that's called. You can find that in Google Play or the App Store. I recommend it. And then you can check out all the other offerings from the Automotive Repair Podcast Network, including what's his name's? Sean's brother, Craig O'Neill. Speak Up. It is pretty good. I mean, for Craig. Anyways, I will leave you at that. This should come out just before the new year. So Happy New Year, and hopefully 2026 is as good or better than your 2025, depending on how you felt about it. Until then, take care.
You've been listening to Diagnosing the Aftermarket A to Z with Matt Fanslow on the Automotive Repair Podcast Network. Download our exclusive podcast app at automotiverepairpodcastnetwork.com because the best conversations in the industry start here. Want Matt to cover a specific topic? Check the show notes for his email. Your input matters.